He wasn't asleep. His chest rose hard. The tips of his ears went red. His throat worked as he swallowed.
Alpha, I thought you were asleep.
I could sleep later.
My breath hitched. He rose slowly to his feet, his tall frame casting a shadow over me.
Need me.
My half-sister Chloe was afraid her mate Brad would go feral over me, so she sold me to an impotent alpha. She patted my shoulder.
Who knows, maybe he's good at other things.
Kace Valerius, the Blackwood Pack's alpha, the Lycan King's most trusted war commander. He was carried back from the battlefield soaked in blood. Someone suggested,
a mate bond shares life force. If Alpha Kace was bound to a living, healthy mate, her strength could flow into him and pull him back.
Chloe rushed to play matchmaker and presented me to Martha before I could object. I had no way to refuse. If I wouldn't agree, she'd transfer me to serve 60-year-old Elder Kevin. I knew she resented my history with her mate. I dropped to my knees and swore to the moon goddess.
I swear, Chloe, I had no feelings for Brad.
Chloe jabbed a finger at my forehead, fury in her eyes.
What good is a vow? Do you have any idea how distracting you are?
I hunched my shoulders. Tears slid down my cheeks.
Just look at that ample body and those charming curves, parading your body in front of every male in the clan. Who among them would not lose their minds at the smell of you?
I wanted to tell her. To bind my chest, I'd wrapped myself layer after layer in the sweltering heat until I broke out in a rash. Her expression softened. She wiped my tears.
It's not that I don't trust you. It's that I don't trust males. Do you know how powerful Alpha Kace is? If my mother and Martha weren't old friends, you wouldn't even have this opportunity.
Chloe, I don't want to be anyone's offering. I'd rather scrub kitchen floors. Just don't make me.
2 sharp slaps landed across my face. My cheek burned.
Leah, are you out of your mind? If I hadn't vouched for you, Martha wouldn't have given you a second glance. You wouldn't even be worthy of being Kace's mate.
The maid burst in, breathless.
Miss Chloe, word from the Valerius estate. Alpha Kace has woken up.
Chloe dragged me straight to Valerius estate. Enormous. I followed her through the main hall to a set of heavy double doors pulled half shut. Through the gap, I could make out a man's shape in the bed. Thin, motionless, chest rattling with shallow coughs every few minutes. Martha stood on our side, eyes red.
Thank you for everything you've done for Kace. I won't destroy a girl's future over it.
Chloe's eyes moved, quick and calculating.
It's Valerius. The bond should still be completed. Leah arrived the same day Kace woke up. That's the moon goddess guiding us. Seal the bond properly. Her life force will keep pulling him back toward health.
Before she could speak, the healer Ella stepped out, expression tight.
Alpha Kace has regained consciousness, but an arrow struck his inner thigh during battle. I'm afraid he will no longer be able to—
Unable to do what?
He will no longer be able to get hard.
Martha's knees gave out. I caught her before she hit the floor. She looked up at me with hollowed eyes.
Leah, knowing this, are you still willing?
Yes, she's been looking forward to it.
Chloe was already answering for me.
Of course she is. She's just an Omega with no prospects. She should be grateful.
I didn't speak right away. My mind went to my past. There was a young wolf in the poor quarter behind our estate. I first saw him through the fence gaps. Thin wrists, hollow cheeks, hunched over a cracked bowl with nothing in it. I started passing food through the gaps. Bread first, then soup, then whatever I had. Day after day, I watched him change. The hollows in his cheeks filled out. His shoulders broadened. He started training before dawn, running laps around the back wall while I was still half asleep. He was going to enter the warrior trials. I knew it before he told me. When he passed, I went to find him that same night. I was happy. I remember it clearly. I was genuinely happy. I knocked on the gate. He didn't open it. His voice came,
Leah, I'm betrothed now. It wouldn't be proper.
Then a soft thud in the dirt at my feet, a pouch of silver.
Consider my debt repaid.
I stood there for a moment. Then I picked it up and walked away. That wolf became Chloe's mate. Brad. I acted like I'd never known him. Chloe found out anyway. I snapped back to reality. I gathered my skirts and knelt in front of Martha.
My lady, I'm willing. I'll complete the bond, care for Kace, and serve you as long as you need me.
Luna. Martha kept her word and prepared a dignified mating dress for me. Chloe deliberately chose a day when Brad was away on pack business to send me off. She walked me to the door, guilt on her face.
Even though Kace can't get hard, at least you'll be spared the pain of bearing pups. Don't worry. An alpha who can't perform in that area is probably exceptional in every other.
Honestly, none of what Chloe said had even crossed my mind. I told myself I was simply moving to a new household. Kace was too weak to stand through the full mate blessing ritual. I completed the bond rites beside his ceremonial sword instead. Martha watched from the front, eyes wet the whole time. When it was done, I was Alpha Kace's mate. The mating chamber was quiet. I pushed the door open carefully. Kace was already inside, half reclined against the headboard in a white bathrobe. He turned when he heard me. Up close, he was strikingly handsome. Sharp jaw, dark eyes, the kind of face that didn't need color in it to hold attention.
I had no intention of taking a mate.
He said with a low voice.
If it doesn't trouble you, we can treat this as a sibling arrangement.
He pointed to the chaise along the far wall.
Tonight the bed is yours. I'll take that. Tomorrow you move to the guest quarters.
All right.
I nodded. He had thought of everything. It wasn't what I'd expected. Before the ritual, one of the older maids had pulled me aside and pressed something into my hands. A small handbook, worn at the corners. She'd whispered with a strange look.
There are other ways between mates. You might find it useful.
I had no idea what she meant until I opened it. Heat pooled in my core just from looking at the pages.
Is it too hot?
Kace was watching me from the bed, eyes direct, unblinking.
The dress is heavy. I'm a little warm.
Then wash up and rest.
He pulled the blanket over himself and turned toward the wall. Within minutes, his breathing evened out. I set the handbook down on the vanity and took down my hair. Then the layered robes, piece by piece, until I was standing in nothing but my nightgown. I turned to the mirror. The thin fabric clung to every curve, heavy breasts straining against the cloth, slim waist giving way to the flare of my hips. I walked straight into Kace's gaze. He wasn't asleep. His chest rose hard. The tips of his ears went red. His throat worked as he swallowed. I grabbed my outer robe and pressed it against my chest.
Alpha, I thought you were asleep.
A long pause.
I could sleep later.
My breath hitched. He rose slowly to his feet, his tall frame casting a shadow over me.